George Lucas once said, movies are not complete, they are abandoned. And that's how he felt about Star Wars. A lot of the special effects Lucas was not happy with, and there were things he wanted to include in Star Wars that he couldn't pull off in 1977.
Come out of there, Solo! Solo!
Right here, Jabba. Been waiting for you.
Have you not?
You didn't think I was gonna run, did you?
So the film was abandoned and released on May 25th, 1977. But even after that date, Lucas would tinker with the release of Star Wars, all three of the original films, from every time it was re-released in the theaters to every VHS release, DVD release, and Blu-ray. Even the new 4K version of A New Hope on Disney Plus has some re-edited footage. This was done by Lucas and his company before Disney bought the film. As fans keep up hope for a release of the original cuts on a home format that's more advanced than a DVD, it seems very unlikely.
Yes, I bet you have.
Greetings, film fans. John Campy here with AMC Movie News with, it's an understatement to say huge news. One of the most beloved all-time film franchises in history. Star Wars, of course, is the property of Lucasfilm run by George Lucas. It is being reported right now by Deadline.com that Disney has purchased Lucasfilm, including the rights to Star Wars and assumably most of the Lucasfilm properties, for reported $4.05 billion in stock and cash.
When Disney bought Lucasfilm, fans again hoped they would see the original cuts, back when Han shot first, before the Sarlacc pit had a beak, and before the Ewoks could blink. Sadly, it seems even under Disney, we will never see an official release of the original cuts of Star Wars. What are fans to do that want to see the original 35mm print of this film, the way they saw it back in 1977? Well, believe it or not, they can see it, kinda. You just need to make an appointment with the Library of Congress for a viewing of the 35mm print that has been transformed digitally to 2K.
Are you all right? Short for a stormtrooper?
Huh? Oh, the
The
uniform.
great disturbance in the Force. As if millions of voices
Skywalker, I'm here to
cried
rescue
out
you.
in terror.
You're who?
Suddenly
Here to
silence.
rescue you. I've got your R2 unit. I'm here with Ben
Something
Kenobi.
terrible has happened.
Where is he? Come on.
Sadly, if you do watch it at the Library of Congress, it will be on a 17-inch computer monitor rather than a big screen theater. If it was up to Lucas, you wouldn't even be able to see the original cut, even by appointment at the Library of Congress on a small computer screen. In 1986, the United States government organized the creation of the National Film Registry. This was a way to collect and preserve important films that would be housed in a special branch of the Library of Congress. Each year, 25 films would be selected based on their artistic and cultural value, and in the very first year of creation, Star Wars was selected.
Obi-Wan is here. The Force is with him.
The Library of Congress needed an original print of the Star Wars films to enter into the archives, but it seems this was going to be a lot harder than anyone thought. Insiders close with Lucasfilm and 20th Century Fox say that Lucas, when updating his contract in the 90s with Fox, wrote into his contract that any prints of the original cuts of Star Wars must be found and destroyed. Due to this, any original prints of Star Wars seem to be in private collectors' hands or hiding away deep in the vaults of Skywalker Ranch. Lucas dragged his feet when it came to giving a print to the Library of Congress, and when it did finally arrive, what the Library of Congress was given was a print of the 1997 Special Edition. Lucas would also try to hand over special edition prints of The Empire Strikes Back when it was entered into the Library of Congress a few years later, The Library of Congress was not happy about this, as it went against the whole idea of the National Film Registry, and they declined the special edition prints of the films.
Well, you said it, Chewie. Where did you dig up that old fossil?
In March of 1978, an original print of Star Wars on 35mm film was sent to the Library of Congress for copyright deposits. They were also sent in 1980 and 1983 original 35mm prints of the sequels. Sadly, even the Library of Congress has stated that these prints are not perfect. While they are in good shape, Star Wars has minor scratches on the print, and the Empire Strikes Back 35mm print has extreme color fading. They also have a 35mm print from June 1979 with English subtitles.
No.
For an entire generation, people have experienced Star Wars the only way it's been possible, on the TV screen. But if you've only seen it this way, you haven't seen it at all.
We might not know the small details of the contract with Lucas, but it's a good bet that Lucas worked into the sale of Star Wars that the original cuts would never be released. While promoting The Rise of Skywalker, director J.J. Abrams was asked about fans seeing the original cuts, and he said, "I have asked about this, cause who wouldn't want to see that? But I've been told, for reasons I don't quite understand, that it's not necessarily possible." Which is too bad, because that was a thing that I loved. He went on to add, "I also feel like there's something about the original cuts that was, for many people, the thing they loved. It would be great to have that available for the mainstream audience."
The Star Wars Trilogy, Special Edition. See it again, for the first time.
The Force will be with you, always.
Get in there, you big polio! I don't care what you smell! Get in there, don't worry about it!
In 2004, Lucas told the Associated Press, "The special editions, that's the ones I want out there. The other cut, it's on VHS if anyone wants to see it. But to me, it doesn't really exist anymore." And in 1997, he told American Cinematography magazine, "In 100 years from now, the version of the movie that anyone will remember will be the special editions." Lucas has also said that it would cost too much to restore the original prints. However, in 2006, Robert Harris, one of the best at restoring old films in Hollywood, offered to restore the Star Wars movies for free, but Lucas never took him up on the offer. And then, out of the blue, there was a little hope that maybe Lucas was softening on his stance about the original cut. On June 29, 2019, the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Science held a back-to-back screening of Rogue One and A New Hope. The 70mm print shown was the original cut of Star Wars. The Academy had to get special permission from George Lucas himself to show the print. This print was not the 1977 cut, but rather the re-release cut with the added subtitle A New Hope. But still, the closest anyone has seen to a public viewing of the original cut of Star Wars in decades.
There'll be no one to stop us this time.
Yes, sir.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Will we ever get an official release of the original cuts of Star Wars? That seems very unlikely. However, thanks to dedicated fans, finding the original cuts that have been cleaned up is possible, but maybe not legal. And there's still the old VHS copies and Laserdiscs floating around secondhand stores. There was even a DVD released in the early 2000s that had the original cuts as bonus features. However, they were just taken from the Laserdisc. So if you really want to see Star Wars, how it was seen in 1977, it's out there, if you look for it, but sadly it's most likely we'll never see an official release of the original cuts of Star Wars.
There you go. Wait a minute, where'd she go? Bring her back. Play back the entire message.
I want to thank you for watching. As always, please subscribe to the channel, thumb up so I know you like my content, and until the next video, we'll talk again.
Junkman.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.
For my dead body.
Yes, I bet you have.